Hello guys, I'm Josh from Scarebox, and today I'm going to be doing a analysis on the death of Conga line mazes. Now, some of you listening will not know what the hell I'm talking about, and some of you will be like, oh yeah, I remember those. You know what, just a sidetrack, look guys, these podcast things, whatever they're called, is like I have topic A, I'm about to go to topic B and get distracted for about 5 minutes, and then maybe we'll have about 2 minutes for the actual topic. So what was I gonna say? So this podcast is quite interesting. Like I got the other day, one of my good sort of contacts in the scare attraction industry. I had a couple actually say, "Oh, are you Josh? Do you do Scarebox?" And I was like, "Shit!" I forget how tight this industry is. It's so small. If those people listening, love you. But yeah, I realised recently that a lot of people I know are realising I do this, and I feel like I get this kind of fear. For some reason, I'm always a bit shy about it. I'm always like, oh no, that's not me. That's not. And you know what? It happened a couple times over the last week, and it is quite funny, I think, to be honest. When it happens. It's interesting how with YouTube, on podcasts, you kind of do them, and you're really confident here, and then people will ask you about it in real life, and you're like, oh, yeah, that's me. Those low effort podcasts that I post are definitely me. I'm sorry, guys. The industry is quite small as well, so I feel like it's quite funny doing these, because I feel like people are going to be like, oh, did you do that podcast thing that no one watched? I'm like, yeah. So, another thing, guys, again, I've told this again in previous podcasts, but my content is really infrequent at the moment. I am sorry. Not sorry. I'm doing a scare attraction, and I'm about to move to the north of the UK from the south. So, I'm busy. I'm sorry, guys. This is a bit of a bit of fun for myself. Yeah, not the best for uploads, soz. So, the topic at hand, we are 2.5 minutes in, and I haven't touched the subject yet at all. This is fucking terrible. So, Conga line mazes. So, these things were big in the early 2000s/2010s. They died off around 2013-ish. So for those who weren't around, which some of you, maybe most of you, but there was a few people who watched this who, I've spoken to one or two of them, that they've been in the industry longer than I've been in the industry. They've been in it since 2000. They've been acting since 2005 or whatever, and they are the, they know the scare attraction industry like the back of their hands. I thought I did, but these people have been around for over 25 years, this industry. There's me starting in 2013, which is actually quite late thinking about it, but hey ho, getting old again. Distraction, not actually the topic. I am one this morning away episode from being diagnosed as ADHD. Just kidding, actually I'm diagnosed as ADHD. So the video, mazes like the Asylum, Cellar, what else? Yeah, so Saw Alive, Cellar, Asylum, Terror of the Towers, a lot of these Conga line mazes, and it was kind of the standard, I feel like, until 2013, to which then it kind of got phased out slowly. We started to see Cabin in the Woods, My Bloody Valentine, and suddenly single file mazes seemed a bit sort of obsolete. And then mazes came at Tully's, Scarefest, and it started to slowly become a lot more Les Lanier. Subspecies, for example, Cabin in the Woods again. I think the Subspecies really summed up why it is obsolete. But multiple routes. I think that really gave the industry some ideas on how you don't just have to have one path. You can have multiple paths, and having Conga line can be a bit intrusive, what if you are, you're 5'4", and you're stuck behind a really tall bloke, and that can affect your experience, and that's not great. So a lot of the attractions started to sort of stop. Places like Tully's, I think, stopped that year, with Chop Shop and stuff. It definitely became a bit less sort of popular, and over the years it's just got like more obscure, and I can't name a single maze anymore that actually has it. I think the real, like, it was dead in 2019, but it became like it was buried 50 feet under after COVID. Because for those who don't know what conga line is, now you're basically putting your hand on the next person's shoulder and kind of, you know, like a conga line, whatever. And that is, back in the day, that was okay, you know, that was a bit awkward, touching some random bloke's shoulder, but nowadays it just wouldn't work. Like, post-COVID, people are very conscious about their personal space, I feel, and touching a random chick's shoulder is just weird, you know, like, and I don't know, it just has sort of ramifications and complications. Oh, he touched me, oh, you know, that kind of thing. And yeah, it definitely, people want their personal space more, I think, these days, and that is a fair enough thing to want. And in terms of the benefits of conga lines, a lot of it was keeping the groups together, which is a really useful thing, but it didn't always work. Sometimes conga lines are split in half, or sometimes you get one person at the back who's too slow, or person at the front is going at 100 miles an hour. You know, like any group batch, you know, in a scare attraction, things can go slightly wrong with the batching, and that's fine. That's part of the industry, isn't it, really? Fair enough, isn't it? But I think one thing to know is that, you know, it was around, it was a thing, and I want to sort of talk about the history of conga lines. But I do think in some mazes it did create some really good synergy with the actors. A good example I'd say is a maze like Asylum. I think the chainsaw section was particularly quite a... I think the conga lines, because it kept the groups together, usually kept them together anyway, it made the chainsaw ending quite effective, because usually the group were all together, like, you know, hands on shoulders, like very close together. But nowadays, with a more spread out group, it might not be as effective. But God knows, like, that is a hypothetical, guys. Who knows what would happen these days? And a lot of mazes probably could have done better without them. Like, you know, mazes like Saw probably might have been better, just if you just walked through it without having to do conga lines. And then Total Towers, towards the end of the maze, I remember them not sort of enforcing the whole conga line thing. Even mazes that had it historically, I feel like kind of gave it up after 2016, 15 time. It kind of just it seems as though the events just started to realise it's just not worth it anymore. And after COVID, it seems like some kind of alien concept to bring that back. But yeah, conga lines, why did they die out? I'd say probably because it was obsolete after a while, and the events started to realise they weren't as beneficial as you'd think they would be. And also, and then post sort of 2020 events have realised that people don't want to touch a random person on the shoulder. It's just weird. So yeah, I think that's why. There's maybe more reasons. If you have more reasons, comment down below. There are people listening to this who probably have a lot better, they've been in the industry for longer, they know much more than me. But that's just some observations from a random bloke who goes through these mazes sometimes. I guess just one last mention as well, they are used in hooded mazes, but that is basically because it'd be chaos without it. Imagine just like solo hooded mazes with no conga line, it'd be utterly crazy. So that one will never go away. We'll still have it in hooded mazes, but outside of that, rest in peace. But yeah, guys, I've been Josh, this is Skybox, and one thing, please like, or just dislike either as well, dislike me, because I feel like that will make the algorithm go in my favour. So leave a dislike, comment as well. Don't care, just don't make it like offensive. Or do make it offensive, but I'm cutting this out. I might keep it actually as a joke, but yeah, do please like and comment. I do appreciate it. Also do subscribe, I appreciate that even more. This is just like a side thing, to be honest, so don't expect it to be like that deep. People been saying, you know, you should do like actual videos. I'm like, nah, like this is just me having a chat, you know, this is cash. Okay guys, I'll see you very soon, and yeah, have a good day.